Have you ever had one of those moments where your phone or some app just gets you? It's a little weird, right? Well, today we're going to talk about exactly that. It's a field called emotional AI, technology that's actually designed to recognize and interpret human feelings. We're going to break down how these machines are learning to read us. Okay, let's dive in. It's a strange thought. Maybe you type out a really frustrated text message, or your music app suddenly suggests a super mellow playlist, and it feels like your phone is somehow perfectly in sync with your mood. So, is it really understanding you, or is there something else going on under the hood? And we've all seen this, right? You're dealing with a customer service bot or a wellness app, and it gives you this seemingly empathetic response. And yeah, it feels supportive, but it's not empathy. Not really. It's actually a super complex process of calculation and pattern matching. So the real question is, how do they do it? All right, let's pull back the curtain and get into the mechanics. To really get how an AI decodes our feelings, we need to look at the step-by-step process it uses to turn our messy human expressions into something a machine can actually read. Okay, so it all starts with data input. That's your texts, the sound of your voice, maybe even the look on your face. Then the AI scans all that data for patterns. It's hunting for keywords, words like wonderful or terrible, or it's analyzing the pitch and speed of your voice. And finally, based on all those patterns, it slaps a label on it. It classifies the emotion into a category. Happy, sad, angry. You get the idea. Now, at the very heart of this technology is something called sentiment analysis. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital opinion meter. Its whole job is to read a chunk of text and figure out if the attitude behind it is positive, negative, or just neutral. This is the engine that's driving that chatbot's supposedly sympathetic response. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. Just because you can understand patterns doesn't mean you understand the meaning. And this is exactly where AI gets totally lost in translation. It's where that gap between machine logic and real human experience becomes incredibly obvious. This slide is the perfect example. It just totally exposes the AI's blind spot. So you spill coffee all over your laptop and you say, oh, this is just great. Any person hearing that instantly gets the sarcasm, right? But the AI, it just sees the word great and it flags it as positive. It completely, totally misses the context, the tone, the very human way we actually talk to each other. And that one little example just opens up this whole world of challenges. Sarcasm is only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, how is an AI supposed to understand that a joke in one culture might be a huge insult in another? Or what about feeling two things at once, like being happy and sad at a graduation? These complex, layered human experiences are, for now, way beyond its grasp. So you might be thinking, if the technology is this flawed, why is it being used pretty much everywhere? Well, because even with all its imperfections, emotional AI is already having a massive impact on our world. It's shaping everything from what we buy to how we get help. Let's take a closer look. The biggest place you'll find this is in customer service. It's used to sort through calls, so if you sound really angry, it can route you to a human faster to de-escalate the situation. Market research firms use it to get an instant read on how the public feels about a new product. And maybe most importantly, it's a huge and growing field in healthcare, powering apps that can monitor for early signs of depression or anxiety just by looking at vocal and text patterns.
This whole thing creates a really interesting tension. On one hand, the potential good is huge. We're talking better customer support, content feeds that are perfectly tailored to you, even early warnings for mental health crises. But it also opens up some really tricky ethical questions. It makes you wonder, who gets to see all this emotional data? How is it being used? It's this delicate balancing act between innovation and privacy, and it's a conversation that is happening right now.
And that really brings us to the core takeaway here. This quote just nails the reality of emotional AI today. We are not building friends or companions. We are building incredibly sophisticated pattern recognition tools. They don't share our feelings. They just analyze the data trails we leave behind when we express. So that leaves us with one final and, I think, really crucial question. This technology is basically a mirror, reflecting our own emotional language right back at us. And as these machines get better and better at reading our patterns, we have to be the ones to decide